It was the Adam Stern Show in Phoenix, Arizona, as the squad from up north took down the United States, but today missed out on in 20 years of World Baseball Classic action. Canadian manager
changes too, Tyler. When you look at the Canadian lineup, you see Julian has slid from the leadoff spot.
6 days from here on Bithorn Stadium in San Juan as Otto Lopez goes after the second pitch and fouls it away. Have done more than enough work offensively in their couple of wins, but obviously, Brian, you would love to see what
stays in between.
3-2, Lopez back up the middle. A leadoff single on the 7th pitch of the first at bat of Wednesday afternoon, and Lopez is on to get it.
Now let's see how he reacts here. If he's, in between the legs from the catcher. But the reason why is because sometimes a catcher will give you that pitch well in advance, right?
He joking around with his teammates, and he said he's just focused. The stadium could be falling down around him, and he would be focused on his next pitch. But he seems a little rattled here as he issues Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in the Pacific League in Japan. Livan Moinelo had a better than 4-1 strikeout to walkout situation to start a game. Tyler O'Neill ropes one foul. It's 1-2.
Last night against Puerto Rico, down 2 strikes.
Ace. 2-2, and Moinelo's got his first strikeout as he blows away O'Neill. 1 gone in the first. So 1 away, and the runners are going, and Moinelo now has Lopez hung up between second and third, and Canada runs into an out on the base paths. But we're going to get Tomoya Ishiyama, our second base umpire, will confer with his construction call. Canada's fans are opportunity to jump in front. The guy who's been hitting the ball very hard, Abraham Toro, swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Moncada will track this one and put it away in foul ground. Big out against Raymond Burgos. First pitch is there for a strike to him. And Ryan, the swings and momentum in this inning, the long
with all that adversity right here and put up a 0.
Casey swings and can't get the 1-1, and he's down to the count.
And I tell you what, this is such a tough matchup for all these offerings.
And Casey walks. Second free pass of the inning issued by Lopez at third, Naylor at second, and Casey at first. Down to the count here, 0-2. Really a 20-minute first inning to get this game of a crazy top of the first, 0-2. And a foul ball knocks the mask off of Perez.
And got a pitch you could handle there too.
Nello ready again. Davidson high in the air on the infield. Moncada, with the wind always playing a factor, calmly puts it away in the composure of Livan Moinelo.
The world on his shoulders right now to try and navigate through this Cuban lineup.
He goes to work against Alexander Vargas to start.
Well, Tyler, we've talked a lot about this Canadian team up against this stud.
3-2. Vargas clubs one to right. O'Neill got a good jump on it. Leaping, he pulls it in on the warning track for out number 1. Take a look at that start on Mesa as Vargas is retired on the flyout.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the changes. You see Vargas at the top of the line.
102 miles an hour, so anything but soft contact there, but Quantrill bounces back from the first pitch ball to Moncada. It's 1-1.
And you look at it, he can be unpredictable too. Any pitch in any count. But speaking of counts, this is what's really hurt him the last couple of years.
3-2 on the way from the righty. He gets Moncada swinging and missing, so 2 straight.
Then all of a sudden you're asked to come pitch for Team Canada in a do-or-die game.
Loops one to right. That'll get down. And it is the first knock of the game for Cuba.
Just back, getting in some good counts, find that rhythm early.
And here is the veteran and always dangerous bat of Alfredo Despaigne. Bounces one over to third, where Toro will play it on the good hop, and that'll bring the inning to a close. Good start to this one for Cal Quantrill. We'll go to the second, scoreless in San. In a run. Lifts this one in the air to shallow center. Well, Santos' long run in is there to make the grab.
And he becomes unhittable.
Livan Moinelo went to Nippon Professional. Squares off here with the Athletics' Denzel Clark, who snaps that bat at the handle and will stay alive to see another pitch. Much is back on Friday, 38 for strikes for Moinelo, and he gets Denzel Clark swinging here, and now he's starting to find that groove.
Yeah, really. Julian looking down, not making that eye contact. It won't matter anyway. He's going to be getting up to first base. But for Trip Gibson, he's used to having.
Now it's Otto Lopez's turn. Bouncer over to third. Yohan Moncada will throw him out, and that'll do it for Canada in the second. One on with two. They did 3 years ago. The first baseman, Jung-hoo, leading things off. You saw his prodigious numbers from the Cuban National Series in 2025. So not interested in having a conversation. And, you know, this has been such an era of change for, you know, for so long. As the 3-2, Jung-hoo ropes it, and Matt Davidson, first time in at first base as a starter, no problem on the quick reaction.
About him and get settled in.
Yiddy Cape serves one out toward right center, and Tyler O'Neill cutting over will put it away.
And trying to get some of the big leagues, signing a minor league deal with the Texas Rangers. Shape, however, you want to show up and perform, and that can be tough when it takes that long to get through.
It's empty. Takes that one on the outside part of the plate, and it's 1-2.
For the Seattle Seahawks.
How about the Dunedin Blue Jays hat he had on, by the way? Day number
3, they are 0-2, couldn't get the offense going.
And here, some struggles early. 2 strikeouts.
Calm, pitch clock, you name it.
First pitch swinging. Josh Naylor is retired on the put out there by Alexander Vargas, one gone. This pitch number 40. And O'Neill laces that one to left field. It's down for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Canada, and it comes from the big right fielder for the Baltimore Orioles.
Settle in, and this is what he does. It takes him just a couple of innings. He starts going through, especially second time through the lineup, you start seeing more of that bigger breaking ball.
0-1. Abraham Toro flips this one out, and it gets past the lunging Cape and into right field. Yiddy Cape, I think, only had 1 plate appearance against a lefty last year in the Bigs. That double against the Southpaw last night in Canada's
Possible right here, Tyler, in this count.
Chance to deliver. He goes after one at 92.
Wow. All right.
3-2. Casey to right field. This will be deep enough to get the run in, presumably. Catch made out there by Guibert. Tagging at third. Here's O'Neill. Throw is offline. Tyler O'Neill scores. Owen Casey continues to deliver. Guibert was coming straight home with it. Now Matt Davidson in the air to center field. And Roel Santos will camp out under it to put it away. But Owen Casey drives in the first run of this game, and Canada strikes. Cuba's improbable run to the semis in 2023. A victory at the Tokyo Dome over Australia as the bottom half of the third inning with his team trailing 1-0. And going to work against Cal Quantrill, Ryan, who was retired 6th. So with the Padres, the Rockies, Miami, Atlanta.
Gave him a chance at the end of the year. They let him go.
3-2 on the ground, 2 second. 1 away. Well, Ryan, we know one of our participants enough of the math 3 years ago.
Oh, man.
Or I should put it this way. Anthony Orza had enough of the math 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Our
Gonna pretend I do.
1 away. Roel Santos takes ball 1. He saw a fantastic catch by Santos. Matchup tonight for Mexico and Italy. It's a bouncing ball over to second. 2 away. I will read directly from the MLB.com store. Loses. But Italy, the U.S. would go through with them. 1 game ahead of Mexico. But if Mexico wins that game and scores, Baseball Classic shocker would be dropped before the quarters. As we're back at the top of the order in Alexander Vargas.
Has to stay unpredictable. You get plenty of that.
Vargas saying he foul tipped that pitch, but he did not. And he is down on
the Moinelo Rodriguez back-to-back, the piggyback situation that can really make it tough on an offense due to the
a tiebreaker formula. It's just head-to-head here today. But one point that Ernie Witt made that was really good in the World Cup. They've played in the Pan Am games or Premier 12s. Bo Naylor goes down on strikes, 1 out. And obviously on the other side, for Cuba, that's games differently. You have to play games differently. You're, sometimes asked to do things that you don't ordinarily do, laying down a sacrifice bunt, stealing a base, doing whatever. International competition and then playing tournament-style baseball that you just don't in the regular season.
Yeah, and again, that can be...
And at bat, if he hits that 65-pitch first-round limit, He can finish an at bat to go over 65, but he might.
As he got deeper into this game.
1-1, Julian foul. All in two-straight. Winella bounced back, didn't allow anything that inning. Julien serves this one to left center field. This could be extra bases as it gets down, and it splits Martinez and Santos. It is a two-out double for Edouard Julien, and Canada is in business. And Rodriguez to take over. 3 2/3 from Moinello. 4 hits, 1 unearned.
He knows how to do that.
Otto Lopez trying to deliver here with 2 outs. And Canada is now 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The 2-out double does no damage, and Canada and Cuba, whoever wins this game, will join Puerto Rico in the quarters and will match that record as Cal Quantrill gets a first pitch ground out. Ryan, Cal Quantrill's not even at 45. Canada, with Martinez fighting this one off, he'll dunk it down into right field for a base hit. That is Cuba's first knock since the first inning, and that one was also a single. 1-0, grounds it left side. Lopez, Julien, Davidson, got them both. 2-3-4, Josh Naylor leading things off against Yariel Rodriguez, and a couple of guys whose teams squared off in the American.
This WBC, different pair every game.
Rocking those Jordan 1 spikes here today. That he cleared waivers outright. Nobody took a chance on him as Naylor tried to hold up there, unable to do so. And a first batter strike.
Deeper in this game.
Tyler O'Neill has scored the only run of this on Owen Casey's sac fly. 1-2. O'Neill in the air, to right. Guibert is there, 2 away.
With the Blue Jays.
So 2 gone on the bases empty for Abraham Toro. Extra bases, couple of doubles and a triple. He's also walked a couple of times, and he crushes this one deep to right. Abraham Toro doubles the lead for Canada. It's 2-0 here in the top half of the 5th.
I'll tell you what, Abraham Toro has been red hot in this pool play. We talked about his ability to hit the ball the other way to left field. We saw him start to drive the ball into right field, but nothing bigger than that. Reaching the seats here on this final day.
And Canada sitting pretty right now with a 2-0 lead as Owen Casey waves and doesn't get a piece there. And as soon as Rodriguez heard that come off the bat, he knew it was gone. To have been hanging out for every Canada game, the win over a couple of squads, the loss to
2/3 was a nightmare for him. Getting a chance to rock that Canadian jersey. And again, we talked about 23 to 25 as well.
This one. But Cal Quantrill getting his shot at redemption and not letting that moment pass him by as this ball is tanked, foul down the right field line.
Well, pay attention here. We talked about second time to the line for
more pitches in this at bat than he threw in the entire 5th inning. But he'll issue his first walk, a leadoff walk to Yoeli.
This is when you're at the end of your rope and that fatigue starts to settle in.
Man, that is the first time today that Cuba has a leadoff base runner, Ryan. Here's the 0-1. Yiddy Cape has been so much fun to watch, and we talked about him earlier today with Herman Mesa. I noted this earlier. Mesa triple coming into the day today. But an 0-2 pitch is a foul at the plate. That'll keep him alive. Quantrill has not had to work from the stretch a ton today. And he'll check over at first, and he throws that ball away. Jung-hoo falls down, but with so much foul territory, he can take second and maybe third. Jung-hoo digging for third base, and he's in there sliding.
Pitch and get that swing and miss.
So a monster spot now. One other batter from the stretch in this game, and he gets a big strikeout of Cape here. 1 gone in the bottom of the 5th.
And that's a huge pitch. Guarantee Ernie Witt would have been on his way out to the mound.
And the first pitch waved at and missed there by Yoelgis Guibert.
Just keep executing. Let it eat.
1-2 on Guibert. And the other thing, too, that gives the guys around you to want to go to work and add to this lead because of what Cal Quantrill is giving you. As the 1-2 is grounded right side, that'll get the first run of the game home for Cuba. An RBI ground out for Guibert. The base is clear with 2 outs, but it's a 2-1 game, which he can exceed to finish off a hitter. But if he does finish off Perez, he'll be through 5 for 65. Strike 2. Two from Quantrill. Got him! Cal Quantrill roars to his dugout. Eli Kiriakopoulos, James Nobles, William Rodriguez, and Jordan Sabo, who have done such amazing work. Davidson, a couple of outs in the air today. A pop out to third base, a fly out to center field. He ended the first and third innings. 2 runs onto this angular roof. Such a distinctive design, and for Matt Davidson and the rest of these hitters, as this one popped up, and this is a long run for everybody, and it's dropped out there by Cobb. To pick that ball up as it comes out of the sunlight into the shadows over home plate.
Good pitch right there, 2-0. And for a guy, Yariel Rodriguez has already pitched.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, and Naylor drives it down the right field line. That is extra bases for Bo Naylor. In is Davidson. Canada responds. It's 3-1. Earlier in this game, we've had a passed ball. There are 2 errors up on the board on Canada as Denzel Clark comes up empty there. It's 0-1.
And you can sit here and say, well, if Matt hitter, so in a situation like that, all you're doing is putting more and more pressure on, number 1, the defense, and especially 2, a guy who you're hoping to get.
To keep this thing close, the 0-2, and Denzel Clark fouls it to stay alive at the plate. No, did not get a piece of it, did get a piece of it.
Ball and strike call. I'm not even thinking about Denzel Clark standing out there at second base right now.
Teams that take advantage of mistakes are the teams that thrive in international play. Canada is on the verge of potentially busting. Naylor at third, his cousin Clark at second. 3-2, and Julien is gone on strikes. That is a big first.
Swung at the first pitch back in the second inning.
Goes after the first one here and fouls it back. Rodriguez deals. Lopez bouncing ball left side. That's past the lunge of Vargas and into left. In to score is Bo Naylor. Denzel Clark can fly. He scores 2. And Canada has busted it open. It's 5-1.
And with everything going on in this inning for Cuba, at some point, especially with the infield playing in, I feel like there's just going to be that one swing of the bat.
5 runs on 7 hits for Canada, and the captain of this team arrives feeling it too.
Yeah, first chance he's had to start a game here in the WBC.
Only 2 of Canada's 5 runs to this point are earned for this pitching staff as Naylor.
Yeah, good breaking ball right there. Known for that fastball, obviously.
In danger of missing out on the quarters for the first time ever. Tyler O'Neill, everything in the air is dicey, and this time Yuri Kape puts it away, and that'll send us to the bottom of this. Its first trip to the quarterfinals of the World Baseball Classic if they can hang. And this offense just really struggling to come to life. A run on 2 hits.
First inning. Some of the pitch clock violations. It's important for Indigo Diaz. Keep that rhythm.
Diaz kicks and deals. Leaves it upstairs for ball 4. So a leadoff walk. Cuba will see if that experience pitching in his home country on the amateur stage. He worked in a league that you and I are very familiar with, the West Coast League. Masterpiece, and it has got to be so anxiety-ridden sitting in that dugout as this one skied out to shallow right. O'Neill there to make the call on the catch. What is that feeling?
First been the case for Cuba, and I'm telling you, this will haunt you if you walk away from this not advancing to the next round for the first time ever. You'll go.
And you look at all that list of miscues as Moncada sends one up the first baseline. That's a fair ball and down toward the corner. Rounding second and headed into third. Santos will wait there, and it's second and third with one out. Sixth. This first pitch is there for a strike. Asked you a second ago, you know, if you're Cal Quantrill, you're over there, you did such good way to get its bats going. Two of those teams have been relegated, but here's a shot to right field and a base hit. Martinez with a 3-hit day. He'll drive in just one as Moncada has to hold at third, but it takes strike one. Coming up on his 40th birthday this summer, a guy who has played waves and doesn't get a piece of that one. Ryan over 1-1. Check that. The 0-2, a called strike three. Again, we had a video. 3-0 is ball four, and they are loaded up for Yiddy Cape. In World Baseball Classic history, Canada's got that same chance today. And Yiddy Cape, who made a crucial mistake, and Cuba needs him. 0-1, he yanks that one foul. Mako ready, deep breath in the 0-2. Got him! Monster strikeout for Adam Mako. Able to claw one run back, but they leave him loaded in the bottom of the sixth. On the right field line, Andres Perez's day is done behind the plate. And Omar Hernandez
got Yoan Moncada not staying with that play.
Bouncing ball. Check that. It popped. Little liner over their left side.
But then the game just got a little bit too big for Perez behind the plate.
Today, he has done his work without having to put the bat on the ball. Had a walk in the first inning, a sacrifice. Another tough left-on-left matchup for Casey. For Canada and Cuba, as Owen Casey thought he had ball four, instead takes strike three. He is gone, two away in the 2-0 count on Matt Davidson. Pitch to hit there and fouled it straight back at Davidson. Comes up empty on the 3-1. Nunez 2. Ball four, patient work there by Matt Davidson. He's a two-out base runner in the seventh. The RBI double to right field to plate Davidson, but Naylor sends this one in the air out to left. Martinez will set up and put it away. And that'll do it for Canada in the seventh. We have hit the stretch. And a familiar arm to Canadian baseball fans takes over on the mound. It's the big lefty, James Paxton.
And good to see James Paxton back out. Who bullpen, he had all those arms down there. Everyone's fresh. He mentioned James Paxton straight out of the gate.
I'd love to get Paxton an inning. Maple Leaf trying to get this thing over the line. And a called strike three as he freezes Guibert for the first out of the seventh.
See him pumping that. You can see him getting taken out there mid at bat at 49 pitches. I asked him to say, how's your arm feeling after? You know, he said, oh,
so far has not worked out the way they had hoped. But a walk for Hernandez goes on to set it up for Roel Santos. Obstruct anybody's view. We already had one obstruction call today. Can't have it on the fans also. That is goodness gracious. Getting some work fun down here. Look at all these Puerto Rican beers we've been drinking. That's over 3 beers per inning. Grounder out too short and a nice play. Oh, but the dig on the other side is knocked down by Davidson, who's now going to try to nab Hernandez.
Here he is pinch hitting against James Paxton.
He is the tying run right now. And he fouls the first pitch back. 1-1, runner off from first, and a tapper foul will send Santos back. Originally signed with the Dodgers in 2014, and he waits on a big one here from Paxton and goes after it and can't catch up. 94 from the veteran lefty James Paxton, and
again, we talked about him coming fresh off the couch. Game speeding up. All of a sudden, you get that big punch.
Easier as Paxton has to go through Yoan Moncada, and the 0-1 is waved at and missed. Moncada 2.
Let it eat.
Here it comes. Got him. James Paxton strikes out the side in the 7th. Bitthorn Ballpark, one of the islands of enchantment here in Puerto Rico. Cuba, Yohan Lopez takes over, and Denzel Clark bounces one out to short, where Rizbel Arubarwena, just into this game, may have gotten the out. Denzel Clark, and you said, I think you'll get some 95s. And he said, you think so? Bouncer out towards second. Cape to Arubarwena for one, and back to first in time to get Julien. So the 4-6-3 double play erases that lead.
Living in Seattle, throwing some bullpens. I know he threw in one of the exhibition games. But man, you're going to second guess everything you do. The game team is in a good spot with the way James Paxton looked at last inning.
Ball and 2 strikes. 3-2 rather is high as well. And that is ball 4. They are haggard now.
Yeah, that's right.
They haven't smiled in almost a week. Josh Naylor fights this one off the hands, falling quickly in left, and on comes Martinez, who can't make the catch. Rounding third base, here comes Lopez to the plate. The insurance run is in on the flare off the bat of Naylor, and Canada back out to second, and an easy play there for Cape. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Canada gets a run back and reinstates a 4-run.
Famine, especially those first couple of games. And again, we got to keep going back to 2023. Just nothing doing the first couple. And they started to...
Broken bat, bouncer over 2/3. Some weird spin on that ball, but Abraham Toro sticks with it, and Martinez is retired for the...
It's gotten worse and worse since then.
This is sort of the inverse of what we saw 3 years ago, Ryan, where Cuba's
not playing that sound defense, beating themselves, and plenty of that right there, swing and miss.
And that is a World Baseball Classic.
And not to mention, you got a guy in James Paxton who essentially coming out of retirement now, just in an absolute...
Classics was one of the worst pitching staffs in every single edition.
Yeah, and you get the additions of obviously Jamison Tyone, left-handed swing, of course.
Of course. There exists a scenario in which Canada makes it through, and its North American rival, the United States.
Bridge the gap to this man right here, Rado Martinez, dominating the NPB. Talk about how if that...
So world-class, and we're shouting him out for a reason, as Abraham Toro skies one out in the air to left. This is a long run again for Martinez, and again the wind playing tricks, and nobody makes the play, and every game in the 9th.
Absolutely.
So it's a leadoff double for Toro, and now Owen Casey, 1-1 pitch, tap foul. But just to put a bow on that, the crew, we could not, when our producer Chris Bracey...
We are so grateful and so fortunate.
Rip right side, Owen Casey comes through yet again. Rounding third, here comes Toro. It's 7-2 Canada in the 9th. And the first pitch is there for a strike to Matt Davidson. Baseball, and these are the things that Cuba did not do in that era. As a grounder out to short, 6-4-3 double play. That's really nicely turned there by Arubarwena and Yiddy Capi. But Italy and Mexico all still alive to move on there. 2 of those 3 teams will come out pending the 1-1. Naylor out to second. Cape is there, and Canada will try to close out its first ever trip to the World Baseball Classic when we return in San Juan. Canada lead as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it is James Paxton back out there on the mound for his squad. He'll go to work. Just amazing work done here by the guys in red, white, and black, and he dispatches Nunez. Draw for Malcolm Nunez, first at bat of this World Baseball Classic. But we showed you the footage earlier of Canada's win over the United. Did not get the start in this game. Goes first pitch swinging and fouls one back, and it's 0-1. Try to finish it out. 0-2. In the air, to left. Here comes Owen Casey. And for the first time in its history, Canada is headed on to the World Baseball Classic quarterfinal.